What's up everyone, it's Austin here from Make Pop Music and Austin Whole Audio and Visual, and today I'm going to be bringing you another tutorial. In today's tutorial we're going to be going over how to make 808s because we've had a lot of comments on the past several ones. We had comments on the Ariana Grande video, on the video where we looked at Troy's song, and on the video where we looked at Sorry's song. So I do tons of 808s in my songs. They normally range a little bit in how they end up in the final mix, but I do like to start normally with the same preset in almost all of them. So today I'm just going to be going over how to make that 808 in Serum, and then we'll also talk about some ways to like post-process your 808 and kind of go for different kind of vibes and sounds. So we're going to be starting with one initial 808 preset that we'll make together, and then I'll just kind of walk you through ways to alter those. If you do enjoy the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. We do appreciate it. Also, if you want to know more about sound design, we will be having tutorials based on sound design, but we do have a course right now on our website. It's still for sale until the end of this weekend as the time that the video is coming out. 25% off, just use the code MPMLaunch, and we have a course on sound design and synthesis. So we actually cover bases in a whole chapter in that. It's like a 2-hour course. It's really just the basics of like synthesis and sound design. So if you want to learn more about it, that's probably a really good way to learn. But without further ado, let's just actually go ahead and hop into it. Okay, so now we're actually in my DAW. So the first thing we need to do is, I've just gone ahead and duplicated the MIDI from the 808. We're going to be looking at the 808s in the Ariana Grande track that we did in the previous videos, just because there were a lot of questions about that. So what we did was we went ahead and copied the MIDI so I don't have to waste any of y'all's time like actually drawing a new MIDI, and we just have Serum set to the initialized preset. So let's go ahead and take a listen. It's just that nice super buzzy saw wave. Awesome, sounds great. Video's over. Now what I like to start with is a super specific wavetable on here. It's actually in the digital section. So if you go to digital, it's add seconds, and basically what it is it starts out as just a sine. I'll drag it down an octave. It starts out as basically just a sine, but as you change the wavetable position, it starts adding like harmonics. So check this out. So you get really like a throaty kind of sound, and it adds those harmonics which really kind of help that super low, you know, F note stick out on something like an iPhone speaker or a laptop speaker or something like that. We're definitely not going to go this intense. This is kind of a lot. It sounds really annoying. It almost sounds more like a pluck bass. Like here you go. Here's another free tutorial right here for you guys. There you go. There's a house pluck bass. But since we're not doing that, let's go ahead and pull the sustain back all the way up. Let's drag the wavetable position down a little bit. I normally like it here between like 5 and 10 because I don't want a lot of that throatiness. I really just want it to be there for the speakers that really need it the most. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag envelope 2 down to make just kind of like a pretty sharp point. So just pull the decay pretty far back, maybe like 100 milliseconds, and pull sustain down to 0. And then we're going to route that to the wavetable position. And we're going to basically make this to where it goes from like, I don't know, we'll do like 12 to 0. We could probably even drag this up and do like, let's do like 7 to like 3. So there's the bass for our 808. So next what we got to do is we got to start shaping this, right? So typically 808s decay over a sense of time, and this is actually why I really like doing them in Serum, is because you can completely control how long you want this 808 to be, right? You can even shape the actual waveform. So we'll leave it like this. We'll set it as like a 2.5 second 808. And then what I like to do too, I'm just going to turn on the drums real quick just so you can kind of hear. So you can hear we're already off to a good start. But one thing that I think 808s kind of lose a lot of their punch is when the bass starts masking the kick drum, and it's just kind of like all over the place and it's kind of wonky. So what I'll do is, you can sidechain it, like if you're using an 808 in another program, or if you're using like a one-shot 808. But what you can do on Serum is you can actually just drag up the attack. So I'll normally drag the attack to like anywhere between like 100 and 120. And then now it's going to duck under that kick. So let me just go ahead and get the kick and the 808 for you so you can kind of hear it. Let me drag it out a little bit more so it's a little easier for you to actually tell. So for this song, it actually sounds good. It kind of like at like that 150 region because it is a little bit of a slower song. and the kick drum's got a lot of kind of sustained low end on it, so we don't need that 808 to come in quite so quickly. So I'm gonna leave it around that 125-ish area. And then the next thing that we're gonna wanna do is I like to just compress my 808s just a little bit in here, and so I'll just drag the threshold to 0, and 4 to 1 is cool on that. This is fine, this is fine. All right, now let's pull this threshold up so we're gonna start to get some actual compression happening. And so what this is gonna do is just even it out just a little bit. So now we've got pretty much just a base 808. So then normally if I'm gonna use this preset and leave it pretty minimal, what I'll do is I'll throw Saturn on, and I'll just put some kind of like tape saturation on, and I'll put the drive normally like between 50 and 70, and then I'll drive the mix down and just boost some of these mids and high mids. So I like the top end from that, but when you boost that top end, it does start to take away some of the low end. That's why I'll drive this mix all the way back to, you know, anywhere between like 30 and 50. I'm the alpha leader of the pack, yeah. They think I'm timid, show 'em I'm a bad bitch. Bought a new apartment for my packs, yeah. They put me down, but... So that's really how to get a really, really basic 808. So the cool thing about Serum is that if you want to go ahead and get like that super, you know, like SoundCloud rap sound, you could just add like saturation in it. If you want to do something more like an 808, just like a short little pluck, you could just shorten this up. We'll take off some of that compression too, so it eases up on the sustain. So in Serum, you've really got control over how long it's gonna last, how intense it's gonna be. You could even change the waveform. So like if you wanted something with a little bit, you know, more harmonic, you could go to like add thirds. Or if you wanted to, you know, maybe add some top end, you could use maybe like a sine wave. And then what I would do is I would actually put a filter on it to high pass some of that low end, maybe at like 300-ish hertz. Actually, let's do more like a band pass. And then what we can do is we can widen this out. And then you could even add an envelope to this so it doesn't last nearly as long. So we'll drag this back a little bit. And who knows, that might give you a little bit of extra bite that you need at the beginning of an 808. You could always, instead of having an 808 kick separately, what you could do is you could automate like one of the envelopes like this. You go to your matrix and you would just pick envelope. We have this as envelope 3. It's gonna automate the master tuning, and then we'll just drag that up a little bit. Or you could add some kind of noise. They have like kicks in here. So like you could just add like a kick attack. Then we'll just automate this. There we go. So you could always add some kind of like little kick sound there. You could even drag in your own kick drum in the noise section. But yeah, I mean, that's basically the whole 808. I'll just kind of walk you through the preset that we used in that specific video. It's literally the same thing. See, it's exactly the same. I just have some actual macros set in. But I mean, that's pretty much all I do. And then that's when you get left up with this. And that's really all there is to 808s. Well, it's as easy as that. You can see the 808s are honestly super, super simple. You can make them in under a minute or two on Serum. It probably took us not even 3 or 4 minutes to actually walk through it on a tutorial. So hopefully this kind of helped you get that good bass 808 sound. Bass is in B-A-S-E, not B-A-S-S. Hopefully this helped you get that good bass sound for your 808, and then you can just kind of alter it however you need to for your mix. Do you want to saturate it? Do you want to take it up an octave and have like a higher 808? How do you want to attack, sustain, and release? So hopefully you can use these tips and you can create pretty much anything you want. That's why I do them in Serum, is so I can always go through, I can change the pitch of them, I can change the attack, I can change the release, I can alter them however I want, I can combine waveforms. You can get really, really, really creative with your 808s and kind of turn them into other bass patches that aren't just a standard, you know, sine wave hitting on a kick drum. But hopefully this was helpful. If it was, definitely leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We really appreciate it. We'll be back every Tuesday and Thursday with new videos for you guys, so let us know what you want to see. We do have some cool stuff planned, so I am super excited. But I will see you guys next time. Much love. Peace out. Make pop music. Stop eating my cable ties. Hey, that's not food. That's a cable tie.